Hello, everyone and no one, and welcome to another Talking to the Void. Apparently, Tier went out bowling today, so he's not going to be here. So he's not with me as always. He's now down to with me sometimes. But join me is Angela. Angela, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. How are you, Ryder?
Not so bad. Hopefully, the next time I take that OA defense out, it performs better. Mainly the optic plate, especially since I cleaned it. Cause holy crap, was that thing dirty? And who
Oh,
knows if
wow.
Will show up. I sent him a message to see if he's joined tonight. He might be all tuckered out as well.
I think he might be just plain out because he didn't make it to the Frosted movie
Hmm.
either.
Hmm.
Yeah. It's one of those I'm tempted to see if he's okay, but if he's asleep,
Yeah.
I do not also do not want to wake him.
Hmm.
So,
Otherwise, went and saw the Backrooms movie on Friday. That was pretty good. I liked it, and it's definitely got room for a sequel because the only answers you get in the movie are pure speculation. Like I was talking with Angela, the funniest thing has been seeing the people online that are like, "This was nothing like the games," and it's like, because it's not based off the games, you fucking idiot. But
yeah, it's
it wasn't super bloody, it wasn't super gory, but holy fuck did the actual more jump scare type jump scare, it's like jump scares like were legitimately well earned. But you were saying?
oh no. I actually really want to see that movie. I'm not sure it would be necessary to see it in the theater, but I definitely would love to actually get a chance to go see it. It would be seriously awesome. It's been forever since I've gone to a movie. So.
I mean, the last movie I went and saw in theater, I was still stationed in New Mexico. And I think it was freaking the night me and a buddy went and did a double feature. We saw Suicide Squad, then Sausage Party, and basically felt disappointed leaving both of them.
Um, okay. Which Suicide Squad?
It was the first one, the one
I
with Will
really
Smith
liked it.
and whatnot. It was
I liked it.
okay, but it definitely left a lot to be desired.
I thought it was fun.
Hmm.
I had a good time with it.
As like at least Suicide Squad, I think was entertaining, but it was basically like Deadshot, Harley Quinn, and friends. The
Hmm.
Jared Leto Joker thing was entirely unnecessary.
Yeah.
But otherwise, Backrooms was fun. The funniest thing about looking to see if I could even watch that movie was like, okay, I knew of two theaters. There's the Holland 7 and the AMC. And normally they play different movies. So I was like, okay, maybe if it's not at one, it's at the other. No, turns out both of them were playing the exact same films. I'm like,
Huh.
what the fuck? And
That's
I
weird.
completely forgot there was a third movie theater across the street from the courthouse in downtown Holland. And that, so I was thinking about going Saturday, yesterday. Instead, I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to go on Friday before work. And which is pretty dope because the ticket for that going at like noon was like $7.15.
Okay.
So not bad at all.
That's yeah. I mean, It's a good price. Like I said, when I am actually making money,
Nice.
I tend to get no,
Oh,
I'm not.
oh, I
Right
thought
now
I
I'm
was gonna
still.
say, were you doing that AI thing that Camel gave you a link to?
You know what? I can't find the link.
Um, I want to say that one should be in the movie review. So if you jump into after this
Okay.
movie review and then look in the little chat thing, it should be in there.
Okay. Awesome. Um
What's up,
yeah,
Mr. Scott? And what's
seriously.
up, Clown?
Because if I can find that, I will definitely do that.
And no tacos, I did burgers. Which was funny
Mm,
because I went to
burgers
Wendy's
are good.
and I was like, yeah, 2 Dave's doubles, no cheese. And I got them no cheese. And apparently when I said that, like they didn't pay attention as well because they were plain. So it was just 2 burger patties on buns.
Yeah,
I took the first bite
that
and
would
I'm
be
like,
good for. Well, if you take away the bun, it'd be excellent for the holidays.
I was just like,
I'd have
oh, okay, glad I at least have condiments in my fridge.
I'd have to. That would be a perfect thing for my homemade matzah.
Hmm.
Just break it in half and put a burger patty in between. Be good. Thank you. You gave me an idea.
I mean, that's how like Gabriel Iglesias lost a bunch of weight. He would still go to like McDonald's and whatnot, and he talked about how he would get like I think it was like 2 Big Macs or something like that, 2 double quarter pounders of cheese, and then he's like, and for those of you who are wondering, like, oh, the cholesterol, he's like, yeah, the cholesterol might kill me in 10 years, but diabetes would do it in 2. I figured I've saved 8 because what he would do would just take the bun off and basically just do the burger and cheese with like some of the other stuff on it.
Mhm.
Otherwise, not much. Finally got around to finally start looking for land and might have a place that I'm gonna call on in a few weeks to see if they'll take an offer on that 10 acres.
Oh, 10 acres. That would be awesome.
Well, with where it's at, it's gonna put me closer to like an hour drive to work, which I'm fine with because it's relatively close to the expressway, so I don't have to worry about that. One of the other places that I saw that was a house on 5 acres, but it's got different offers and pending shit and whatnot. Like that one would have been cool, and it definitely would have been closer to over an hour to get to work. But I was like, yeah, I could take the one road on there in the summer. I'm not taking it in the winter because that fucker just gets black ice like a motherfucker.
Ugh. Yeah, no.
Well, because for like once you get past Hamilton, it's just a metric fuck ton of farmland. So it's all there's no trees, nothing to stop the wind.
All right.
And back in the day, they used to have basically fences built on parts of the ditches that would go up about 3-4 feet to help cause buildup of snow. So that way it would the air would go, or when the wind would blow, it would go over the highway and not bring everything across it, or over that road, I should say.
All right. Huh.
Hey, what's up, Mitch?
Hi, Mr. Scott. Hi, Mitch.
And Mitch, you're more than
I
welcome to
already said
join
hello to you, brother.
if your insomnia is not kicking your ass. I haven't really paid too much attention to Twitter for anything of actual current events, other than I just find it fucking hysterical that basically both Obsession and the Backrooms are for the most part kicking the ever living shit out of Disney Star Wars.
Okay.
One, because I'm not that big a fan. Go ahead.
When did Star High?
Good
I-
evening.
If you're like, when did Star
Yeah.
Wars come out? I want to say
Well, I mean, when did which part of Star Wars was Disney? Also, if Disney did Rogue One, they did one right.
we're talking
Disney
about
Star Wars began with The Force Awakens.
We're talking about the most recent movie, their Mandalorian movie.
Oh, haven't seen it. Don't
Yeah.
want to. Don't care.
But freaking apparently it opened like a few days after Obsession opened and took the #1 spot for all of like a day. And then
Yeah.
Obsession just fucking bodied it.
Yep,
And
that's what I
apparently
hear.
since that as well, I think even the Backrooms might have, because the Backrooms has made over 100 million.
Yep. Both Backrooms and Obsession are doing rather well.
Mm-hmm. And Backrooms didn't have like it. I don't think it had too much studio interference from what I could tell.
Well, it's Backrooms is, and mind you, I've not looked into these films at all.
Mhm.
I just, I stumble across information as I read through the Twitterverse.
Mm-hmm.
Hang on, I'm congested as all hell.
Yeah, it's that
Mr.
time of
Scott?
the year.
No. Bad Mr. Scott.
No, I'm not that guy, Mr. Scott. That's President Trump. Anyway, from what I understand, Backrooms is based on a series of YouTube videos and actually maintains the story, as it were.
Yes, it's basically
from-
So that,
yeah.
Sorry.
yeah,
'Cause
the
it-
theatrical release is a continuation, if I'm understanding correctly.
Yeah, the easiest way to put it is it's just a different side story, because like the actual Backrooms YouTube channel follows more of Async. This has a little bit of the company or corporation Async, or I don't know if it's corporation or company or whatever. But instead, the main characters are just regular people, which some of the videos had regular people, but it's so much of it's supposed to be that it's basically going back to Async because of what they find the videos and whatnot.
Ah. But the truth of the matter is, I don't have any particular interest in any of these films.
Oh,
Okay.
I'm not bashing, except for Mandalorian and Grogu, but that's a different kind of bash.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone really judges you for that one, Mitch.
Yeah, like
Probably
for
not.
the
I
whole
mean,
thing of saying I'm not going to see these films because they're not my forte is not an insult. Now,
No,
if you were
not
to
at
be
all.
like, I'm not going to see these films because they're fucking garbage and trash, that'd be an insult unless it's warranted.
I mean, my opinion or my interest might shift if I ever run across some of the marketing. But, I have an inherent distrust of marketing at this point.
See, I would
Okay.
say with the Backrooms, other than some people, like I think you would have no problem with it. You'd probably put it more as like a meh. The people who tend to like it more are typically more fans of the YouTube series itself.
Oh, sure. And I haven't even seen that, so I don't know. I mean, if I go into it, I'm going in as raw as possible.
Oh yeah. I mean, even if you go into or watch
Mm.
the movie with or without seeing the wow, my brain went fucking restarted on me.
Mr. Scott, don't say it. I know you're tempted.
But like,
just and then right after you said that, he's got a full paragraph, so it looks like he's going to say something dirty, but actually he's talking about something else.
like you can go into the Backrooms either way, with watching the YouTube series or without watching the YouTube series. You're gonna get a little more if you've watched the YouTube series. Like, it's gonna have more of the Easter eggs, and you'll have
Right.
a bit more understanding, but honestly, I'd say you're going to more likely have like 20% more understanding than someone going in there without doing it.
Right.
That was like one of the actresses that did it, that played one of the kind of like not main antagonist, kind of like it's like side protagonist in a way ish, or secondary. I don't know what to put for that one, but
Supporting actress?
yeah, supporting actress for how long she's in it. Like, she flat out said when, she went to get the part, or when she got the part, she started avoiding all of the wikis, didn't watch the YouTube series, because her character isn't supposed to know jack shit about any of it. So
Right.
other than the rehearsing of scripts, everything was done with like being basically, first time seeing it.
Yep.
That's kind of cool though. Because everybody turns around and goes to research their part
Mm-hmm.
and builds up this huge idea of what they think their character would do. And really, what their character would do is whatever the hell the director says their character would do.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
If you are a good actor, that is what your character would do.
Yeah, that was like,
Exactly.
I think it was Spielberg who did Saving Private Ryan.
Jeez.
And he was like talking with Matt Damon about a scene, because Matt Damon's trying to get it right and whatnot. And he's like, oh, if you give me like one more chance, I think I can get the character right, and blah, 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 and this. And Spielberg's like, or you could just do as I tell you. That was like Christopher Lee, Sir Christopher Lee had a discussion with someone, like going through trying to figure out, getting to the, like trying to figure out so they can, get into that character and whatnot. And Christopher Lee's just like, have you tried
Have you ever tried
acting?
acting? I remember that, hearing about that.
I did. Speaking of movies, this might be somewhat related. I'm not sure,
Okay.
but I did notice a specific pattern, and I've mentioned it before. When they know their movie sucks, they go on this. Someone tends to look like they're sabotaging the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And they front load they're basically front loading their deflection for when the movie comes out and when it flops.
Yeah.
Mm.
Sexism, racism, ism, tism, whatever. And we've seen it with Ghostbusters 2016. All things Star Wars, because now the Force is female.
Oh no.
We're seeing it now where we saw it with Snow White.
Mm-hmm.
And we're seeing it now with Supergirl. And something occurred to me. Another little piece of the puzzle that fell into place, because, like I said, we already know this pattern exists. They know the movie sucks. It's their way of telling us it sucks, and it's their way of telling us it sucks in a way that allows them to blame someone or something else. But I've never noted. Let me try that sentence from the beginning. Damn. I've been racking my brain about this, and I can't seem to recall that kind of hey Keishal.
It was
Hey,
okay.
Keishal. And that's pretty cool, Mr. Scott.
I can't seem to recall a time when they front loaded the deflection on a movie that was actually good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and if anyone knows of one, tell me, please, because that would be awesome. I would kind of like to be proven wrong, but it seems to me that if they know the movie sucks, they front load it with a deflection so they can blame anyone but themselves.
Well, I think they
Yep.
do that, and they also try to do that whole thing of like, no press is bad press, or bad press is good press, because they think,
Oh, yeah.
one, they're going to get people that will go to hate watch it so they can review it, or two, they're gonna get the people that are gonna be like, well, I'm gonna go see this to own the chuds. And give me just a second. I gotta take a secondary layer shirt off.
Okay.
Mm.
Also, with the no bad presses, or
Ugh,
there's no such thing
sweating.
as bad
It-
press philosophy,
Yeah.
it seems to me that, that extra 32 cents you make from people sharing that post on Twitter isn't really going to make up for the $284 million budget on your film that only makes $100,000.
Yeah.
But
But then
Mitch,
again-
don't you know that all the istophobic cat people just they need to be catered to?
The people that say how they're broke and have no money are somehow gonna go and support and spend money on this movie.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Why would we?
I mean,
What's-
that's always the funny thing is if you look at the audience they try to cater to, these are always all the same people who were like, "Oh, you can't afford anything," and it's like because you spend all your money on other dumb shit, you fucking retard.
There's that. But let's look at this other thing. This has been a running pattern with Supergirl since the DC animated universe, which was the last time they did a really good version of Supergirl. The problem they have with Supergirl, I think, for the most part, is that they're not using Supergirl. They're using Lady Superman.
Yeah.
And trying to give her they're trying to give Superman all of Superman's villains. And that's not how that's going to work, because that stops being Supergirl.
Yeah.
Lobo is not a Supergirl villain. He's a Superman villain.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's going to be fun to see Jason Momoa as Lobo. But seeing Jason Momoa as Lobo, in a vacuum, that's not going to save a movie.
No.
Lobo needs a reason to be Lobo and to do the things he does. And he needs to have the proper nemesis. Nemesis isn't the right word.
It would be a nemesis.
I'd say kind of
No,
like
'cause-
If you're talking about Superman versus Lobo, he would be the arch nemesis.
I would almost put it more towards like reasoning. Like he's not going to see the point in fucking with Supergirl. He's going to see the point in
Right.
fucking with Superman because of everything else. It's that whole thing of like Supergirl, while she holds similar values, he's just not going to feel like he's taking on the same type of person or same type of being.
But ever since the DC animated universe, every version of Supergirl they've done has been just kind of an asshole. Whereas in Justice League and Justice League Unlimited and Superman the Animated Series, she was a character that you would root for because she was a good kid.
Yeah.
You regardless of what the weirdos want to tell you, you always root for a good kid.
Mm-hmm. I mean, because like she's not basically supposed to be, the female version of truth, justice, and the American way.
No, she's a teenage girl.
Yeah.
Who's a good kid with powers comparable to Superman's. That's why when in Justice League, when she went up against the clone they made of her, Galatea, and they had that knockdown drag out, that was fucking awesome, because they had spent more than one episode building this past between the two characters. So when they go toe to toe, it's fucking awesome, and you love to see it because Galatea wanted to kill her.
Yeah.
Mhm.
There's a real personal human interaction there. We're not going to get any of that. We didn't get any of it with the Supergirl TV show, that's for certain.
Yeah.
Man, that was just more political
That was quite basically in a lot of cases, from what I saw, since
Propaganda.
they had to have the female Lex Luthor as well. It's like basically we're going to take the villain and the protagonist and then just gender swap them.
Basically, yeah. Except, they did use Red Tornado was still built to look like a male. Because Red Tornado was an android. Who else? Banshee was still a female. Livewire was still a female. But again, these are Superman villains.
Mm-hmm.
They're not Supergirl villains. If you're going to take a character, lean into the character, for fuck's sake.
Well, that was like when they did that new series for Batman. They're like, we're going to make the Penguin a woman. It's like, why? There's
What?
already female villains. That's undermining
Yeah.
the female villains.
Exactly.
What? What?
Yeah, they made her Oswalda. Tyr, in my opinion, actually justifiably bitches up a storm about it.
Yes.
I
won't tell him
can't.
that because it's funner not to let him know.
Right. But it's more fun to accuse him of being secretly in love with Oswalda.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, okay. I'm gonna completely ignore the Tyr being in love with Oswaldo. And move on to women being male roles being cast as women.
Well,
Cynthia Erivo should not have been playing Jesus in Jesus Christ Superstar.
No.
That is actively offensive. I'm sorry.
well, there are roles that you could have to where it can be a man or a woman. Easiest thing is
That's
take
just not one of them.
well, easiest thing, take Ridley and Aliens. It was originally written to be a guy.
Mm-hmm.
But it worked still with having a woman.
Yeah. Ripley was not necessarily a man. Jesus is historically a man.
Yes.
Yes.
That is my point. You
Oh,
even
not
if I
disagreeing
were
with
not
you on that.
even if I were not Christian, that would offend me. That
And speaking as an atheist, yes, it does. I mean, okay, we get it. You don't like Christians and you want to poke a stick in their eye. Okay, I get that. I understand that. But God, you're poking a stick in everyone's eye when you do this shit. Because you're not telling a story about Jesus Christ. You're telling a story about your political agenda.
Mm-hmm.
And boom, now we're bored. I mean, it's honestly, being bored with this stuff is worse than hating it. Do I want to go see Supergirl? No, it looks boring. Millie Alcock, another example, someone who's just cute enough to possibly have been able to pull it off, but they let some kind of politics and James Gunn and his weirdo fucking value system, whatever the fuck that is. Because I mean, throughout the Superman movie, they pissed on Superman.
Yeah.
Literally, the dog pissed on him. I mean, what the fuck, man? Why do you hate Superman so much that you weasel your way into this role and then shit on everything? What? Why not just go do something you're actually good at? You hack.
okay, really quick, just to address what you just put in my head right now. I think the guy that they have playing the new Superman gets shit that he doesn't deserve.
Oh, I agree too, actually. David
I thought he
Cornswell.
did well with what he was given.
So do I. I think he could make a good Superman and Clark Kent. If only someone would write him a decent fucking script. Same thing with Henry Cavill. Henry
Oh,
Cavill would have
Henry
made a
Cavill
great.
was
Oh, I know
fantastic.
you're
No, no,
I know
no,
you're female
actually,
over Henry
I'm not
Cavill.
I'm not one of those.
She's not
Uh,
gushing over his looks, she's gushing over his talent.
Right. I'm with you.
his Superman was amazing. Um, I mean,
Yeah, but
given that,
that's only because of him.
yes, exactly. Well, that's like, and you can disagree with me all you want. Uh, Ben Affleck was my favorite Batman.
How
I
would I
think he
disagree that he's your favorite Batman?
Well, I mean, disagree with him being good as Batman.
I think he did a better kind of with Polly. I think he did a better Bruce Wayne than he did Batman.
I don't know. I
Not,
think once
not saying
again,
he's the best Bruce Wayne or any of that, but I think at the role of what he was given, I think he did better as Bruce Wayne than he did as Batman. Now, again, you have to look at the whole thing of he's dealing with what he was given by the or what he was given by the writers and what the script entailed.
and Zack Snyder, don't forget that element because that dude's a hack too.
Wait, did
I
I
know a
not
lot
say
of people
director?
love the Snyder. What's that?
Did I not say the director? Fuck.
No, you mentioned the writers
Yeah,
specifically.
because I was saying like he had to deal with what the writers left him and what the director was directing him to do.
Right. It's one of the ways in which I feel bad for actors because they really can't do what they do best. Hey, Badger,
As a Badger.
when they're stuck working with hacks like Zack Snyder and James Gunn, which and to be fair to Snyder and Gunn, they should never be given the role of controlling this entire franchise. They're not skilled in that way, and it's showing. Silva Ravenwing, who I'm getting the Kefke thing. I'm convinced I should know who that is. Damn it! That's what I get for watching Minions of the Zoo.
Yeah,
Um,
and so call. I would say that Michael Keaton did do a great job for what he was in.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
At this point, though, putting him in anything as Bruce Wayne / Batman is just, hey, remember this?
Yeah. The only way
That's really exactly what it was.
the only way I could see that slightly working is if they're going to do a Batman Beyond movie. And if they're going to do that, the only thing, in my opinion, they need to scrap is the dumb shit they did in the TV show. They were like, we're going to make, oh crap, I can't remember the character's name, to where he's just like we're going to make him a clone of Bruce Wayne. We actually,
Terry McGinnis.
Terry McGinnis, we're going to give his father a shot and we're going to make him a clone. It's like, that was the dumbest fucking thing you could do. What made him great was the fact that he was his own Batman.
Well, yeah, but they did still play that part up too.
Yeah, because they had the whole thing of he was that way not just because of Bruce's DNA, but because of, it was nature and nurture.
Right.
But it was like, but you still could have had it that, kind of like how the different Robins were, that Bruce saw something in him.
Yep. Let's see. Let's address some things in the chat real quick, if you don't mind.
Okay.
Ravenwing says, I think we can all agree that Michael Keaton. Well, yeah, we just did address that, didn't we? Let's move on to the next one then.
I think you can, if you want to give yourself a little bit of a break, just call him Costin, because that's who it is.
Call him
He's
what?
got like 6 different
Costin.
YouTube names because he's had like 7 different YouTube channels.
I'm going to do myself a favor and just use the name that's on the screen.
Okay.
Well, no, seriously, it's because I'm not getting any younger.
No worries.
Ravenwing said, let's get someone who actually loves the franchise, who actually gives a fuck, instead of throwing money at it to see what sticks. I kind of agree with that.
Or at least,
And
Go.
I think I would have had a hell of a lot of respect for Ben Affleck if it came out that he sat Zack Snyder down and said, look, you're doing this wrong. Because Ben Affleck knows this stuff.
Yeah.
He's on
Well,
par with our level of interest in characters like Batman. And he should have sat someone down and said, "Hey, look, who's your second choice to play Batman?" He should have thrown his weight around. If he had done that and we'd heard about it, I'd have a lot more respect for him. But
Well,
I haven't heard any stories like that from the background.
I'm not necessarily against having someone direct something that they aren't originally a part of the fandom, as long as they're willing to actually go through and do the research to try to do said fandom justice. Because it's like, what
Well,
was
yeah.
it, the second Star Trek movie? The guy who directed that one had never seen a Star Trek show, and I've only really ever heard this thing from Scribe, and
J.J. Abrams.
no, the original Star Trek movies.
Oh, Nicholas Meyer.
Yeah, he wasn't a Star Trek guy, but when he got the job, he went through and he got every bit of Star Trek stuff he could get so he could try to make something that was true to the actual series.
Yeah, you know why he did that? Because he understood fandom because he was a fan on that level of other things.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have to be a Star Trek guy to successfully do a Star Trek movie, but it does have to be someone who understands what it's like to be a fan and have yourself get shit on by Hollywood.
Well, I think the other problem,
Nicholas Meyer pulled that off.
I think a lot of the other problem is that a lot of them, they think that their head, especially for when it comes to the writers, they think their head canon, their fucking fan fiction is now the canon.
Oh yeah, the people who think that Jim Kirk fucks anything. I mean, if you go back and watch the original series, he doesn't. In fact,
oh yeah, no.
What he does do is when he has that level of involvement with someone, it's not because he's a horn dog, it's because he's trying to get his fucking ship back. And that's his way in. He's using it as a strategy. Yeah, I know what I said. He's using it as a strategy and not as an excuse to get laid. But because Captain Kirk over the years has developed a bit of a reputation, they go with the reputation instead of looking at the actual facts.
Mm-hmm.
Chat got active.
No idea who John Wesley Shipp is. Ship.
John Wesley Shipp?
Yeah.
John Wesley Shipp played the Flash in 1992 on a live action TV show that lasted a season. Maybe it was 1990.
Yeah, because
but it was very much in that. It was like a brighter version of the Tim Burton Batman universe, and Danny Elfman also did the music for the Flash. But that was a fun show because that was like the beginning of the. I was talking with Bets about this earlier today, actually. If you look at like the TV show Superman, The Adventures of Superman with George Reeves, then the Batman TV show from the 60s, Wonder Woman, who's the other guy, the Incredible Hulk. If you look at all of those shows, and even some that might have happened through the 80s, if you look at all of those shows, I would say the best one is Batman, and the reason for that is Batman actually went up against supervillains. Superman only went up against Lefty and the Boss.
Which is really, really off balance because Batman was the regular human schlub who just happened to have some really nifty gadgets, and Superman's the one with the superpowers.
Right. And then Wonder Woman too. She mostly just, oh, look, Nazi war criminals. Okay. Big deal. She never picked up a tank and threw it at a building.
Yeah.
And yeah, we know it all comes down to TV budget, but she never went up against a supervillain either.
Well, I mean,
unless it was, this lady stole a thing and now she's as strong as Wonder Woman.
Yeah. Well, I say, but for the longest time it was, and I still say it more holds true, that the Marvel and DC has always done better in an animated format.
Oh yes, that's because they can go up against supervillains.
They can go up
The
against
Hulk never.
They can go up against supervillains. They can go up against the character. It's like the characters are actually going to look like they're supposed to.
Yeah, look at the Incredible Hulk. You know, Hulk strongest there is and all that shit. But yeah, all he ever does is smash a folding table that couldn't withstand a 3-year-old.
Yeah.
Oh no, he's smashing through drywall. Wait, anybody can do that.
Well, it's like
You
I can
know,
get the
and yeah, I
suspension
get
of
a lot of people.
disbelief and the limited budget of, especially that time, and
Well,
of
yeah, but if are you familiar with a show called The Fugitive from the 60s?
Yes.
not
The
offhand.
Incredible Hulk was just the fugitive with gamma radiation.
You might be more familiar with the Fugitive starring
Harrison Ford.
Harrison Ford in the movie theater, which was based on that
Yeah.
TV
Oh,
series.
I'm not saying it was any of six that it was one or the other. I'm just saying they were very limited and they did have to try to get creative, and sometimes it failed. It just wasn't a
Well,
good adaptation.
You want me to give you another counter argument? No, well, it's not a counter argument. It's an argument that supports my position.
Okay.
That is the $6 million man. Because he went up against robots, fembots that were just as strong as he was, in some cases stronger, two space probes that could have killed him easily. He went up against the fucking Bigfoot that turned out to be an alien kind of bionics that eventually became entirely organic. I mean, the $6 million man through that show went up against people that were either hyper intelligent or physically
Comparable
with
to
him.
himself.
In his own universe, he went up against supervillains. And that started in 74.
And a lot
So I
of
mean,
it,
they always could if they were creative enough to do it.
yeah, as I said,
But
that's the next
instead,
thing is
they always
they lack
the
creativity.
Incredible Hulk went up against, a truck driver who was bullying other truck drivers. What? I mean, the dude was exposed to gamma rays and fucking turns into this enormous green rage monster, but all he can do is grunt at a truck driver.
Yeah.
Come on. Give him something that challenges what it means to be the Hulk.
Like even Charlie's Angels had of who they went up against. They were comparable to them. It's just like we said, that whole thing. It's predominantly a lack of creativity. So
yes,
I will acquiesce and say that I spoke wrong.
Also a lack of respect for the character, which
very much so. Yeah,
just makes me angry.
I mean, what's the point of turning into a big green rage monster if all you do is punch through a hollow door?
Hey, what's up, Jen?
Hey, Jen.
Cenk, you just got banned from the UK.
Oh, really?
Great.
That's fun.
That's funny.
I like that.
Well, you know my position. I shed no tears over the death or suffering of tyrants. Cenk qualifies as a tyrant as far as I know. He's pro tyranny.
He's pro something.
Yeah. He's pro third lunch.
Well, yes. I was about to say I think he's pro money.
That's why I call him Chunk Unger.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Give me a drink.
But like we see the same dumb shit when it comes to anime, because I guess Ludwig had a thing come out recently that he's talking with whomever on some podcast. I don't know whose it was, but he brought up of how he liked the anime Madoka Magic. I think it's like Madoka Magica. I'm probably butchering the fucking title, but it's a Magic Girl series that has some fucked up shit in it because of the way they go about it. Like the blonde chick ends up getting her head bitten off, because I don't quite fully understand the story, other
I
than
assume that's literally.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, she literally gets her head bitten off. Like, majority of the characters die at least once
Mhm.
Right on.
Mhm.
in that, and it does a lot of subversion of the typical magical girl anime type thing. And because there are degens in all anime fandoms and all fandoms in general, people are like, "Oh, because of that, it's just, it's just CP." It's like, dude, he didn't say he liked it because he wanted to bang a specific character. He said he liked the anime because they were like, "Oh, I'd kick someone's ass." So I'd kick someone's ass who likes that, and it's like, well, that dude just said it, and your bitch ass hasn't moved, so I call
Well,
shenanigans.
see, that's no different than saying I like the version of Supergirl in the DC animated universe better than the shit we're getting in movies and TV.
Mm-hmm.
It's no different. I mean, I'm not saying I want to fuck her. I'm saying I like the character.
Yeah.
There's a story that develops and fun stuff happens, and we get to watch her get into a big toe-to-toe battle. That's how could anyone possibly spin something like that into being horny for a kid?
Because every time, I shouldn't say
Because
every time, 90% of the time something like that comes up, it's fucking projection.
Oh, of course. Yeah, I
because
get that.
everyone is so hung up on that. That's the thing to throw at people now, to call
Oh
them
yeah.
into question, because you can't turn around and make a decent argument
I
about
think there's
something.
another. I think there's a third angle on that. I think you're both right, but I do think there's a third angle. I think it is a projection, Rotten, and I think you're right, Angela. It's an easy thing to lob out there to try and get people on your side against
Mm.
somebody else. But the third angle I think that we're missing here is that as these people are projecting, they're secretly hoping that the likes of us will say, "Oh yeah, I'd like to do her,"
Mm-hmm.
because then
No, God,
then
now Mitch is gonna get clipped.
why for saying that that's something they want us to say? Fine, cool.
They're not
I don't
gonna put that part in
I
there,
know that.
Mitch.
I
That's
know that. Now, what was I saying? See, you
I
just made
don't
it easier for him, Angela, by getting me off my train of thought.
I don't know. You were saying that
If they
if
get the person they're accusing to say, "Well, yeah, of course I want to," if they get them to say that, now suddenly it's a commiseration because now they can feel like they're not so beyond the pale because see, someone else likes it too. I'm not the only one, and that's how they're going to spin it in their own head, and they're going to try to grow a movement out of that shit,
Well, that's like the ones that
yeah,
have tried
which they have done.
the whole thing of saying, "Oh, anyone who likes anime is just a," like they've had the whole thing of like, because they like lolly characters, like, "Oh, they're a pedophile," and then how so many of them end up getting busted for having actual CP.
Right. Yeah, Raven. Basically, yeah, it's horseshit.
anybody else have issues with the fact that we have to say things like CP and self-deading?
Yes, I do.
Yeah,
It's one of the reasons I don't like YouTube. I actually got banned from a from the Star Trek Online Discord because I refer to child rape as child rape.
yeah.
Because that's what it is.
Yes,
We're not promoting it; we're condemning it.
right. But the way they went after me for it, it's almost like they took it personally.
It's because they did.
Probably. I have screenshots too, by the way. But I'm not eager to share them publicly at this point. This is the kind of stuff you hold on to until it becomes a thing and you add to the fire.
Yep.
Wait, okay. Now there's a genre. It's about context. Damn it. Just some lowly is lowly. Some characters are just small Asian women.
Yeah.
Because Asian women can be small size too.
That's like
And she says, "No venti. We don't measure people by head widths."
that's
Is
God,
she,
because
Jen, do you mean Brittany Venti when you say that?
yeah, we don't practice phrenology. That's like
Um,
they had the recent one as well, to where because somehow my senpai is annoying got brought up again. Someone's like, "Oh, I went through because of her being too short, and scaled her to the male protagonist." And it's like, yeah, except for the fact is she was actually the proper regular size. It's like he's a giant considerably in Japan, because she's like 5 foot or something. Most of the other male characters are like 5'6", 5'7". This dude is fucking 6'5". Like that's the whole point. The two characters that are the tallest are the senpai and her grandfather, that are both like fucking giants in Japan. But that's like the one retard they got mad at the cosplayer. It's like, oh my god, I can't believe someone would have their child cosplay this character, which is, actually a at least 22-year-old woman in the show, or in the show and manga. And it's like, no, that woman's actually like 24.
Let's see. Raven wrote, "When you have to censor child porn and other crap like this, protects people that in that life they are not people to be protected." I'll prove it, Raven. I'll prove it to you. Even then, right? Some people got all pissed off because people were drawing sexy superheroes, saying dumb shit like "we're organs" a few years ago. Like, really? It's a drawing, you freaks.
Yeah. Well, then
Okay.
then the funniest one is when they bring up actual women who look like that.
Yeah. Where is it? To Raven's first point about censoring yourself when you say child porn and other stuff like it. We changed our use of language to protect certain racial groups from certain racial slurs. So we no longer use the racial slurs, and we use things like N-word in their place, when we know that all people of that particular racial demographic are not N-words, if you know what I mean. We did the same thing with people with developmental disorders. We've gone through the gamut on those. We got special, differently abled, and all this other euphemistic language, all to protect the feelings of the how do I say this? Of the tard that tards once and then tards again.
People that keep trying to be offended on
Well,
somebody
people
else's behalf.
who reissue the tardation. Let's put it that way. So we changed language to protect the people with the developmental disorder, when in fact we never really called those people out for reinstituting the tardation. That's what we call our friends who are smart enough to know better than to reinstitute the tardation. But then we do the same thing when we call child rape pedophilia or child molestation. When we call it those things, whose feelings are we protecting?
Yeah.
And if we're protecting the feelings of child rapists, why are we doing that?
Yeah.
Why is there this huge push to diminish the absolute horror that is? What good reasons are there to do that? Well, we don't want the victim to relive the experience. Yeah, no, we don't. That's why we don't diminish it.
You're
If we
expecting
diminish
good
it,
reasons?
what's that?
You're expecting good reasons?
It's like
No, I'm
typically
not.
the whole
Because
thing.
there are none.
typically the whole thing would be is like you're not, when you're using that type of language, you're not around the victim unless you're in a
Right.
courtroom. And it's to basically point out that, you know, the person who did this atrocity to the other said person is a fucking monster.
Right. We shouldn't be diminishing the monstrous nature of the thing they did. It should hang about their neck like an albatross.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but then you turn around and end up with so and so whose sister's cousin's brother was a victim of said child rape. But this person that is the sister's brother's cousin
It's because
gets triggered and has PTSD because the other guy got raped.
and gets offended on somebody else's behalf because they're a fucking tard.
Well,
yeah,
no,
they're not.
they turn around and say that they themselves have PTSD and therefore that shouldn't be allowed to be said.
There's a lot of shit people don't like
Well,
to be
see,
said. That
this
gets
is my
said.
thing. Most of the people who we claim are getting offended on behalf of someone else, they're not. They're not offended at all. They're trying to
Language
use
police.
someone else's victimhood to score points for themselves.
Or to make people not pay attention to what they actually are.
Right. I mean, there are no good motives there.
No.
Well, yeah,
It-
you're either trying to diminish the atrocity, or you're trying to get points for yourself. Either way, fuck you. Hope you die in a car fire. Whoever this hypothetical person might be. I'm not advocating setting cars on fire. Yeah, it's the same thing with people who look at anime and think it's some weird horny motherfucker looking to get weird and horny.
Yeah. Are there animes and manga that are supposed to be that way? Yes, because
Oh, sure.
there's weird fucking people, but like the same people that always want to be like, oh, well, they're you know, trying to sexualize this female character. Bitch, you sexualize male characters. I don't want to fucking hear it. Half you damn degens sexualize fucking actual monsters.
Yep.
And I don't just
don't
mean
forget-
people who do monstrous shit. I mean like legitimate mythical monsters.
There's also the fact that Japanese culture doesn't infantilize its people the way American culture does.
Oh hell no! You know, they actually do full on demonstrations of people like like mannequins or whatnot going across the crosswalk and getting hit by a car.
Yeah. They're not infantilized like we are, because they know that infantilizing a populace is a net negative.
Mm-hmm.
Damn it. Why can't I clear this shit out?
It's like Velcro.
Someone get me a lung brush.
Oh God.
Meanwhile, it's good, you know, and one of the examples of the Japanese culture being less infantilized, they understand that cartoons are not exclusively for children.
Yes.
They understand that you can animate something and still tell a really complex adult story. And I don't mean adult as in horny porno.
Yeah.
It's one of the things that just look at oh God, what is it? They did Toy Story. What studio was that?
Pixar.
Pixar. Yeah. Pixar got all kinds of praise for making things that adults could enjoy too. Well, yeah, moron. That's because they weren't, at that time anyway, they weren't infantilizing their audience.
No.
And the fact that they got so much shine over it really tells you how much infantilization of animated properties is happening in America.
Yeah,
It's sad.
it's that whole thing of I don't know where or when or why it happened, but all of a sudden out of nowhere it was basically, oh no, animated is, that cartoons, that's for children. It was never originally designed for children.
Right. It's only when it got imported to the West.
No, even
And then
even in the West, when
no.
animation was originally done, it was not strictly for children.
Oh, right. Yeah, exactly. Yes, I thought I was leaning into the. Oh God, what was it? What's it called? Localizing.
Oh, localization.
Yeah,
I fucking hate
Mm.
localizers with a passion.
it's when that stuff happens that everything turns childish.
Okay, so that went silent real quick.
Well, no one disagreed.
Huh.
Well, then you get like the dumbasses for localizers that are like, oh, well, we're going to use modern slang in this. And it's like, don't, because it fucking dates it way too quickly. Like for
Yes.
the please don't bully me, Nagatoro, oh, senpai's being sus. Don't just say senpai is being suspicious.
Yes.
Like, stop trying to add like modern meme culture to it. It just fucking ruins shit.
Well, yeah,
And again, it dates it. And then stop trying to change the fucking story, when no one's asked you to.
it's one of the reasons the Lone Ranger, the old with Clayton Moore, that version of it. It's one of the reasons that has stood the test of time, is because that was one of the rules behind the scenes. Is not to oh God, let me look it up, because if I try to remember it, I'll quote it wrongly. What did they call it? I think they called it the Lone Ranger Code.
Alone.
What is it? Creed, whatever.
Oh
No,
yeah, look
I'm
at play parks nowadays, how they're, more designed to small children instead, and the kids left between or in between or left bored.
Oh, Jesus, would you stop popping shit up? Fuck, I hate the internet. Let's see, guidelines. Lone Ranger is never shown without his mask or some sort of disguise. Okay. With emphasis on logic, the Lone Ranger is never captured or held for any length of time by lawmen, avoiding his being unmasked. At all times, the Lone Ranger uses perfect grammar and precise speech, completely devoid of slang and colloquial phrases. That's one of the reasons it stood the test of time.
Agreed.
Because you're right, nothing ages something faster than using a colloquialism.
Well, it's like, okay, going into the whole thing of back when the internet the internet was either as pure infancy or wasn't even available. I can kind of understand localization then for some things that are coming from overseas. But nowadays, that's why like I bring up it, I don't consider it, like they always want to bitch about cultural appropriation. It's like, dude, you're practicing cultural erasure. It's like the biggest thing so many anime fans have asked for isn't the whole thing of like, oh, I want it to be towards me. They're like, I want it to be translated exactly and then make coherent sentences out of it. Because then if there's something I don't understand because of their local dialect, guess what you can do? You can research it.
Yep. This is why I don't like any of the age verification stuff. Stop trying to take the pressure off parents to be parents. In fact, one of the greatest problems we face going forward is the fact that parents are not pressured enough to be parents at this point now.
Yeah.
Let's stop trying to make that an easy job. It should be a difficult job. Yeah, you should have to pay attention to what your kids are looking at and what they're doing.
Yeah, you should be an actual
You
fucking
don't
parent, not their friend.
you don't want the kids to have access to the real world inside your home. Get rid of the internet then.
Well, that's like it was brought up at my folks' house, but my family got along more, so we didn't really have it. But it was one of the few things my dad took from his parents that he had massive issues with for genuine reasons of the whole thing of, you know, he got tired of basically just getting his ass beat by his parents because his brother and sister would lie, or, you know, because one child got in trouble, all of them got to catch a beating.
Right.
But was pretty much if they were at the dinner table, they could discuss basically anything. Anything they felt was an injustice or whatnot. You know, there was basically nothing that was off limits. But
Right on.
when dinner was done, it was done.
Right.
And you couldn't hold it against someone. Granted, I'm pretty sure my grandmother did because she had fucking issues.
I'm so glad I'm not into anime.
Ah,
Some of it's good, some of it's not.
Well, it's not that. It's when I see the way people nitpick over it, that for some reason in my head there's a different nitpickery going on than than when you discuss Star Trek and Star Wars. But maybe that's because I was a fan of those things. I don't know.
Well, for the
But the-
longest time, for the longest time, typically the biggest issue was when you looked at between the manga, which, okay, yes, it's the manga. You're not gonna be able to include every little thing in its, so you're gonna have to fill in some of that stuff. But when it went from the subtitled to the dubbed, they would go and change a bunch of shit for no fucking reason.
Right.
And it's like, look, this isn't your story to tell. This is a story that's already there. You're just translating it. That's your fucking job.
Yep. Well, it's also when you look at the going back to my own youth, there was I was introduced to Star Blazers,
Mhm.
which was an Americanized version of Japan's space battleship Yamato.
Hmm.
And that got me in the door. But when I finally saw what was really going on with Space Battleship Yamato, I realized that Space Battleship Yamato was a much better thing. And it's a much better thing because in Star Blazers, they chopped the shit out of it so as not to offend, not to not corrupt or offend children, but to not offend parents groups.
Yeah, see, like that's like for Super Sentai. Like they took the clips so they could dub over them when they're in costume and then film the parts where they're out of costume and pretty much change the story around because, their original goal, other than to sell toys, was to try to make characters, or it's like moral characters that kids would want to be like.
Right.
And that, like, the actual Super Sentai is way fucking darker.
Oh, yes.
But it's
Much
because
more.
when it comes to that, Japan isn't afraid of that type of thing. It's how they do their
Oh,
shows.
Agreed. The West is incredibly afraid of children growing up with a sense of reality for some
Yeah.
reason.
I was like, I can't remember who we were talking with. It might have been you. That's like, there should be more children's horror stories and even horror movies.
I'm one of the people that does promote that. And it doesn't mean it has to be kids getting hacked up or anything.
well,
But the hyper protectionism that goes on when it's a story about kids is just lame.
Yeah.
The fact that we cast 30-year-olds to take those parts is lame. It's like the kids, the age group of the kids is like 12 to 15 in this story. Put some actors in there that reflect the actual age.
Oh, I think I know what
The-
Angela was going to
the-
say is they have rules and regulations of how they can do shoots with children.
I'll let her say it.
Oh, sorry.
I was going to say it actually has to do with the timing that they want to use to film the movie, because there are strict rules about the amount of hours you can make a child work.
Well, yeah, and they also have to have on set. They also have to have tutors and stuff like that. I understand that.
That's why they choose to use the
30-year-old.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
I know. I know. I understand that. I still think it's wrong. I think if it's a good story, then you put children of the appropriate age to play the part of that character.
And
Like a Friday the 13th, the final chapter. Fucking 8-year-old. I think I always say 8-year-old. I think he was 8 years old at the time. 8-year-old Corey Feldman.
Or Feldman.
And you couldn't have done that part with an 18 or older person.
Yeah,
You
that's
need
the only
you need a
time
kid in that part.
that's the only time you're going to
I was
find them using a child that young.
also gonna say, in a way, it also in a way kind of shits on child actors that don't get to potentially show their acting chops, and instead you're stuck dealing with just adults. Like I
Right.
can kind of understand having ones that are supposed to be in their late teens played by people in their, or it's like, they're like mid to late teens played by people who are in their late teens, early 20s. Like we don't need to go do what, they definitely did for the longest time of like, oh, Grease using people that were way fucking older than the characters they were supposed to be playing in.
Oh, no kidding. Incidentally, musicals are not movies.
I
They are.
don't mind
No, I hate
some.
musicals.
If you haven't seen Repo Genetic Opera, that is one I recommend.
That
But
was
Musicals
it's
are not
good.
movies. They are musicals.
let's see, but it's a horror-esque one because it's about organ repossession.
Well, yeah, that's kind of implied in the name.
Yeah. Not to be confused with the Repo Men movie, which came afterwards.
Right. Why can't I decongest? This is annoying. But could you imagine? I'm assuming we've all seen Friday the 13th Part 4.
Yes.
I think maybe.
Could you imagine if we got a series of films between Part 4 and Part 5 that featured Corey Feldman and his descent into madness and his path out
That would
until
have
we get
been
to
so cool.
yeah, with Corey Feldman playing Tommy Jarvis, it would have been fucking awesome. Because as an 8-year-old kid, he acted his ass off in that
Oh,
movie
yeah.
in Part 4.
He was so good.
He was probably one of the better actors in that movie, to be honest.
He was an excellent actor until he went insane and started probably brain fried himself on drugs.
Well, yeah,
I don't know about any of that.
he was trying to block out
Yeah, I know.
being raped as a child.
Yeah, I know. Trust me.
Because I still think I think the later Lost Boys movies that feature him were mediocre. They're by no means amazing. I would
Did you
consider
say
them.
later Lost Boys movies?
Yes, because there's at least 2 more after the first Lost Boys movie that both have Corey Feldman playing Edgar Fraud. And the
I need
third
to
one, they
find
bring
that.
back the guy who played his brother.
Ooh.
They are okay. But I still think Corey Feldman and Corey Haim did a fucking bang up job in the original Lost Boys.
Oh yeah, they did. You know
They
what
were
ruins the Lost Boys for me?
Hmm.
The thing that really ruins the Lost Boys for me is the fucking music. That
I can see
music
that.
fucking sucks. It's too the music makes the movie look like it insists upon itself.
I can see that.
I mean, the music makes it look like the movie thinks it's some deep narrative and exploration of the human condition. No, it's just a fun fucking movie.
Yeah.
Let it be a fun fucking movie. They ruined it with that music.
I think they ruined it with the main song they used. That was it shout like "Hey Little Sister"
Yeah.
or "Shall Not Fall," whatever the fuck it's called. Like
Yeah,
most
that
of the
shit.
the regular music in there fit,
Ugh. God
but it was
damn
that like entrance and exit music and outro music that just it's a good song. It just doesn't fit as well as some people think.
it's the kind of thing that it's like it's the thing that makes me think that someone in the production had a cousin who in a band who needed a job.
Yeah.
It's that kind of shit. That's why that's why I rail so hard against movies that do a cover version of a well-known song.
Mm-hmm.
Like just spend the extra $30
Yeah.
and get the license to the actual song, would you please?
Well, that's like going back to the movie I saw on Friday, The Backrooms. You know, it's set in like the 90s. Other than a couple things for I think the of some random person listening to the radio in the background, all of the music for it was its own original music.
Oh, groovy. That's fine. I'm actually fine with original music. Well, for the most part.
Yeah.
There's still a what show was that? God damn it. Stargate Universe to consider. I mean, mind you, I'm a big fan of the Stargate franchise. I liked a lot of the things they did in Stargate Universe. Didn't like some others. But one of the things I disliked was it became one of those shows where every episode had to have a music montage featuring the worst fucking song somebody could find.
Yeah.
Gonna try some anti-inflammatories, see if I can get rid of the congestion.
Yeah, I do know with some of those things, it's just because for them to get the rights, it can be a bitch, and sometimes for some of them,
Oh, sure.
they don't want the rights to be associated, so it's easier to go with a cover.
But
Like-
you know, you can't get the Michael Jackson song. Go with Huey Lewis and the News.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have to fake it. Do a fucking find another song that works. Just make sure it's an original. I'm actually just sort of a tangent. I'm surprised that the Huey Lewis and the News song "Walking on a Thin Line" had never made it into a movie. Because I mean, I don't know if you're familiar with the song or not.
No, I'm only familiar with a few of them. My personal favorite isn't even "The Power of Love." It's "If This Is It."
Oh, okay. Yeah, I like both the songs, to be honest.
Oh, "The Power of Love" is a good song. I just think "If This Is It" is a better song, and the music video is fucking hysterical.
Yes, it is.
Mhm.
But if This Is It was also on the album Sports, along with Walking on a Thin Line. But Walking on a Thin Line is about military people that come back and are basically shunned by society. But Huey Lewis and the News is a great band.
Oh,
Make
yeah.
no mistake.
Yes.
Fucking great band. I love them. Very talented. Oh, god damn. They can be deep, they can be witty, they can be fun.
Yeah.
And I love that about them. Fucking, I hate congestion, man.
I know what you mean. Do you
Yep.
get that weird brain fog that comes with
Sometimes.
it sometimes?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like earlier. I was sneezing up a freaking storm at the range. It's just like, holy crap.
That's why I just took the ibuprofen. I'm hoping it'll help to bring down the swelling. Or not the swelling, the inflammation.
Since it's an anti-inflammatory.
Yes.
And so that's like, I still want to see Obsession, but I'm honestly wanting to see the new Street Fighter movie because from what I've seen of the trailer, it just looks fun. And it's like,
That's the one with Carl Urban?
no, that's Mortal Kombat 2.
Thank you. I just wanted to make sure we're talking about the same thing.
Yeah. No, the Street Fighter movie, oh God, I can't remember who, I think it was maybe Functional or someone else was listening to that. Like the guy who plays Ryu was playing, they got him from the HBO series. I think it's like The Warrior or Warrior's Way or something. It's what, Kung Fu, I think the legend continues or whatnot with David Carradine was originally supposed to be.
Okay.
But it's like people are like, well, why does Ken Masters seem like such an American, or it's like such an arrogant American prick? It's like, do you not know
'Cause he
his character?
is.
He's an arrogant American prick.
That is the character.
Oh, it was Mr. Jack. Jack Cochran was the one talking
Hey,
about it.
Johnny.
And what's up, Johnny?
Hi, Johnny.
But yeah, it looks fun. They're bringing the actual move, so you see like Ryu does the Hadouken. They do
Right.
the Zangief freaking one thing, have them like break the vehicles and everything. The storyline looks like it's very, very
Oh,
loose in
cool.
general. My only complaint about Colonel Guile, who they actually got the haircut right, is but I think it's even the way it is on the character. His American flag tattoo on his I think his right shoulder is backwards.
Oh no.
That's a thing I have from the military, because technically the way it is, if you're going to wear an American flag on either your shoulders, the stars are always supposed to be facing your front, as if you were carrying it on a guidon.
on a flag.
Yeah.
Or on a, carrying it on a flag. It is a flag, you fucker. Never mind.
Think you mean flagpole.
That's why I said
Yeah,
a
that
guidon,
too.
because a guidon is
What he said, I didn't even know that had a name.
well, that's because when I was in basic, we had what was known as a guidon bearer, and they are the ones who carry basically a small flagpole that will carry a flag.
Right.
It's just the military being in kind of a way being extra, because they do that shit all the time. It's the reason why they don't call Velcro. They call it hook and loop.
Yep.
Mostly because they went with generic.
Okay.
Do they still call jumping jacks side straddle hops?
I don't believe so.
I just can't help I can't help thinking anymore. Cause we had in high school we had a gym teacher who thought he was a fucking drill instructor. I mean, you never saw this guy without his fucking sunglasses on. It's like, Jesus Christ, you Russian mafia knockoff, grow up.
Well, then, unless he was outdoors, then he's doing it wrong, because in the military, you're not supposed to wear your sunglasses indoors there, bucko.
Or your cover.
Yep.
Oh,
You said cover.
That's what it's
I
called.
haven't heard that since I was in Alabama. I mean, on some movies, but I have not heard someone I was having a conversation with use that term since I
don't
was in
use
Alabama.
all of the frickin' things for it. I can't remember what all of them are. I did a lot of drinking in the military.
One thing that does bug me about the military, it's enough already with the silly fucking hats, all right?
It depends on
even in law enforcement. In law enforcement, it's enough with the silly hats.
Okay, if you're talking about like a regular soldier or airman, their hats are pretty basic. They're covers. The Marine Corps one gets a little ridiculous, and depending on which which uniform you're in for the Navy, it's stupid. Like the service dress hat for the Air Force is retarded. And while I know the guys themselves are badass that wear the berets all look gay as shit. I don't care what anyone says.
Yeah.
Especially because you have to have it where it covers part of your fucking peripheral vision. I want to say of like your right eye.
Yeah. That's exactly, it's silly. Now, if there was, if the design is based on a functionality, it's not silly anymore.
Yeah.
If you can explain the function of the hat, it ceases to be silly. Let's see. Green Badger just wrote, I was just informed that, I know it distracted me too. I was just informed that there's an off brand Oreo called Cream Betweens, and I feel there's a joke in there somewhere. But yeah, if you can explain the purpose for the hat in one sentence, it ceases to be silly.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I can see that. That makes sense. Then it's no longer silly, but
half of it's just used to dictate between one job and another. And it's like, okay, well, other than like the Green Berets and someone else, the only other ones who wear them are security forces.
right.
And it doesn't make them look any more badass. It just makes them look dumb.
No. In fact, since they're required to have short hair, what function does the hat serve?
Yeah.
If it's an identifier, okay, but identifications of that sort can be achieved in many ways. A hat's not necessary.
Well, that's like for our winter hat. Technically, even though the beanie that I have, barely covers my ears, you're actually supposed to roll that thing up an inch. It's like, then what the fuck is it doing? That's like the
Right.
whole thing of being like, hey, you know what? We understand it's cold out, but you can't wear gloves. Also, by the way, don't put your hands in your pocket.
Yeah, exactly. When its only purpose is some ceremonial bullshit.
Well, it doesn't look professional. You know how many people who are freaking professional put their hands in their pockets? A lot of them, you jackass.
Yep.
Stop making arbitrary rules just to make yourself seem important. It was
Exactly.
like when I was in my second tech school, when I went to Wichita Falls, Texas. And a lot of times for officers, once they get to like, I think it's like full bird, the only way they can really go towards their next career or their next rank is to do something that would basically supposed to be like a benefit of the entirety of the Air Force. And one like colonel or general, so 05, no, it'd be 06 or 07, because there's 4 different generals and the regular general is the 1-star.
Right.
Was trying to do it, and he's like, well, I'm left-handed and there is a pen pouch, or a pen pocket on our left sleeves, but I'm left-handed, so I want to put a pen pocket on the right sleeves for the right-handed people, and we can have 2 the different pen pockets. And my MTL, who was like just a staff sergeant, he goes, I'm left-handed, watch this. He takes his right hand, pulls the pen out, puts it in his left hand. Because he was just
It's
talking about like how
magic.
they do stupid shit. It's like HR departments that try to make themselves seem more important because they just cause fucking problems.
Yes, that's all HR departments do, actually.
I mean, they're supposed to be
In
there
my
to protect the
experience.
company. Very, very rarely do they actually do anything decent. Like, pretty much the HR department for the company I work for, at least at the building or the location I work for, unless something comes up that requires their attention or that they're supposed to get involved for, they basically just leave everyone else the fuck alone. Like, you guys got a job to do. We're if you need us, we're here. Because like if
Right.
you need us for do like getting into any of the stuff on the computers or whatnot, or for doing some of the stuff for the fucking perks that the company offers, we're here for that. We'll gladly help. Otherwise, we're gonna stay out your way.
it's when the HR department becomes the at work version of the HOA that it becomes a problem.
Mhm.
And I've dealt with them.
I fucking hate HOAs with a passion.
No, I don't mean HOA. I mean I've dealt with HR that was the in work HOA, and they never liked me. They couldn't easily get rid of me, but they never liked me.
Well, at least you understand that.
Oh fuck yeah!
I actually think it's kind of an accomplishment.
I don't like busybodies.
And that's pretty much what they do.
Because, like, yeah,
Yep.
our HR department,
For a
whenever we
living.
have meetings, like, they'll bring up when there's events or whatnot going on, but they don't try to force anyone into it. I mean, granted, my old supervisor before he went to first shift was like, "Oh, we'll have to get you into some of this stuff so it looks better." I'm like, dude, I'm gonna be straight up honest with you. I don't care. Like, I don't care about the smart points when people are like, "Oh, but you're throwing," because it's like 450 total that you can get, so it's 125 per month because you have to get it, or not per month, per quarter. If you don't get them, that you're throwing away. It's like, technically that's a bonus. I'm not throwing it away if it wasn't something that was given to me.
There
Like,
was
if I didn't get it yet,
Yeah.
how can I throw it away?
It's like, and all this shit is supposed to do is to get people to actually like do shit that's part of their actual job, like cleaning up, not leaving fucking trip hazards.
That sucks.
I once had a department head, my department head, give me grief for not showing up to a Christmas party, company Christmas party. He said it was embarrassing that his entire staff wasn't there. It's like, so it's about you.
Yeah.
It's like, you can't make me go to a Christmas party. I don't celebrate Christmas. You can't make me do this.
It's irrelevant of whether or not you celebrate Christmas. You're not required to go. Like, they gave me
Right.
shit when I didn't go to one of the last Christmas parties it's like the Christmas parties when I was in Okinawa. Like, "Oh, but you could win free prizes." I'm like, "Yeah, and I could also go fucking buy it if I want it."
Yep.
I'm like, "Look, why do I want to go to a Christmas party where most of y'all are going to get way too fucking drunk? I'm not going to want to deal with most of y'all. Like, I don't want to
Uh-huh.
spend everything it's like, it's like basically I have to go there and do more work.
Exactly.
Like, I'm not knocking people who are going to go to it because they want to go to it and have camaraderie. That's what you want to do? Fucking Godspeed, my man. But it's like, if I want to get drunk, I'll get drunk at home. I don't have to worry about catching a ride.
Oh God. But that's the other thing. Everyone knew I didn't drink too, so I'm thinking, what, you just want me to show up so I can be fucking designated driver, right? I'm funny that I'm not a drinker.
I quit drinking.
I generally because I'm not a drinker, I generally don't socialize with people who are. And not because I dislike them. It's because when I socialize, it's not at a bar.
Yeah.
Whereas, God, this was always another clue for me when it comes to dealing with people. There are clues. They give you clues. We all give each other clues, to be honest. But when you ask a coworker, "Hey, how was your weekend?" and they start by telling you how much they drank each night, of what? I mean, they're doing like a fucking inventory
Yeah.
of their drinks. That's not someone I think is interesting. For one thing, they're not answering my question.
Yeah.
I said, "How was your weekend?" The correct answer to that is, it sucked. Or, "No, it's pretty good." Those are the answers to that question. Not bad. They'll take that one too. But when you start giving me a detailed chronology of the drinks you've had over the weekend, I can see that you don't equate fun with having fun. You equate fun with being drunk.
Yeah. And I like Badgers know that. I don't like any of you when it's like when you're sober. Why do I want to be around you when you're drunk?
Exactly.
Mhm,
Exactly.
mhm, mhm.
Then at the Christmas parties, there's always some group of people who feel the need to give a speech of some sort. It's like, no, I don't do that. I don't want to. I don't want to do it myself. I don't want to listen to any of you people do it.
Yeah, it's
It
like,
might shock them to know
I don't want to have to hear
that
the
I'm
commander.
actually a very private person.
It's like I don't need to go to a Christmas party to have the commander tell us that we did a good job or whatnot.
Well, yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, I just forced socializing is the worst.
Then it just doesn't. It's that's not socializing.
I agree.
That's essentially having a root canal with no Novocaine.
Yep. Let me ask you this: I keep seeing on Twitter where Cash Patel keeps talking about the 764 network of child predators. Let's say because we're on YouTube.
What's a 764?
That's my question. I didn't hear about the 764 network until Patel became FBI director. This kind of suggests to me that it's not a real thing. Or if there are the occasional horny perverts who get caught up in it, it's because they set it up.
Yeah,
And every once in a while, they get someone caught in that network that they established. I'm not saying they necessarily established it for being horny perverts.
and if you're gonna go buy a prostitute, make sure you fucking pay him.
Yeah.
Like, I'll be honest, I don't care if like they're ones that are doing that, as long as they're doing their job the way they're supposed to, and if they're banging hookers, fucking pay them.
Yep. You know what's fun though?
Okay.
Go
What's
on.
fun is watching someone see Gremlins for the first time.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
I still have an appreciation for the second one, but it is not as good as the first.
No
Oh yeah,
way.
the second one is I mean the first one is a little bonkers, okay? The second one is completely off the rails and I appreciate the escalation
Yeah.
because the escalation wasn't a direct escalation from the first one. It went sideways.
Yeah. Like, I appreciate the whole fact they leaned into some of the shit that they were bitched about.
Yeah.
Like the chick leaving the movie theater and being like, "This is supposed to be a children's movie," and like, you should have been a better parent.
Yeah. And you know how it leaned into stupid corporatism and
Mm-hmm.
quite appropriately made a mockery of it.
Mm-hmm. But like the first
I mean,
one,
apparently,
the first one had that such great subversion of expectations. Like, that's the way you do it, instead of just being like, hey, did you like the way we subverted it? And it's like, no, because you did a twist at the end and it was garbage.
Um. So I looked up 764 network.
yeah.
It is a real thing. It used to be called the CVLT network. Um, 764 network started in 2021. CVLT network was created in 2019. And it's a bunch of creepy pedos.
So now the question has to become, why is it always this one pedo network you're going after and not the other? Are you taking out the competition?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's. And now my skin is crawling. Ugh. And I'm probably on somebody's list.
I'm making that very comment now.
What, that I'm on somebody's list?
No. About why it's always one and not the other.
Ah.
Damn it. The F on my keyboard is failing. This makes it hard for me to use profanity properly.
So now you really will type duck.
Yeah. There. Now I went full prick. Quote tweet of Kash Patel himself. Why is it always this one child or this one network of child rapists and not the other child rapist network? Taking out the competition? This bugs me in our with our political discourse right now. Before President Trump even ran for president, I had a distrust of government. When he ran as an outsider, I'm like, yes, we need outsider energy. So I voted for him in 2016 and he got in. And I laughed. And for the most part, he lived up to my expectations. So I voted for him again and again. But now
It's not laughable.
It's bad enough that either someone got to him or he's been playing the Democrat long game the whole time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which is to say, well, it doesn't matter Democrat or Republican, they're all tyrants.
Yes.
They all serve the same tyranny.
Exactly.
It's just different flavors of it. But so he's either been purchased, frightened, or what's the other word I'm looking for? Or he was playing the long game against the American people. The thing is, there are still people who, when they look at politics, they're looking at party affiliation or cult of personality, and they're not looking at the stuff that matters. That's right, Mr. Scott. I effed up my F button because I'm not afraid of the profanity. And now I'm just, I don't care about these people anymore. I won't even argue with them for the most part. Like Cat Turd, he's a head full in the pants Trump cocksucker.
I don't even know who that is. So
semi-famous Twitter personality.
Yeah.
I used to follow him. I don't follow him anymore because they keep saying Trump can do no wrong. Well, yes, he can.
He's human. He can always do wrong.
Well, yeah, there's that, but he can and he has. I'm not saying he committed any of the. I'm not saying he raped E. Jean Carroll or anything like that, but he did push through Operation Warp Speed. he did start with the 2 weeks to slow the curve or whatever.
2 weeks to flatten the curb.
Whatever,
Curve.
yeah. And he did all that. And everyone wants to forget it.
I don't know why I said 2 weeks to flatten the curb.
Whatever. It doesn't matter. But he's done those things. He called the Epstein thing a hoax, for fuck's sake. I mean, come on. Yeah, I know. I voted for him too.
I
But God
didn't.
damn it, look at the facts.
Yeah. Be objective.
Mr. Scott writes, I like Michael Malice's explanation of tribalism. Most people have an us versus them filter rather than a truth versus false filter. Yeah, that's very much true. Whereas I have a liberty versus tyranny filter. You know, we all have different filters, but my God, there at some point you have to be
Take
able to
off.
observe the facts for what they are.
Yes.
I mean, Christ, Trump is running around saying the economy's great. Yeah, for who? For a guy whose family is making shit tons of money on it? Yeah, it's great for that demographic. The rest of us are still getting fucked.
Mm-hmm.
And what's worse is because of the tribalism. God, so many people are going to think voting Democrat is the way to fix it because of their fucking short-term memories. No, we're not even going to call it short-term memory. We're going to call it short attention span. Short attention span is the one of the greatest weapons politicians use against the populace. Because they know that we'll forget in 3 days what someone on the ballot in 3 months just did.
I always just say it's
I
because
hate
they're
politics,
fucking
but-
idiocy.
Well, I'm being a little more accurate than just blanket, than calling people idiots with a blanket. You know,
Mhm.
it is idiocy, yes, but there's more to it than that. That's why every once in a while I have to point out on Twitter that the only true measure of politics is liberty and tyranny.
Mm-hmm.
You can argue all the other stuff with your fashion statements and fan fiction, whatever. I don't care. It always comes down to liberty or tyranny. I mean, God, they want to pass the SAVE Act or the Big Beautiful Bill, right?
Mm-hmm.
And those things are loaded with shit that's bad for us.
Oh yeah. Like, here's 2 things that are
But they
good for you.
they don't want you to know that there's bad shit in there. They just want you to know that there's one thing in there. But none of them will push for one issue, one bill.
Yeah.
Which I think Thomas Massey should, since he lost that primary. I think he ought to, before he leaves office, push through something like a one issue, one bill thing, whether it be an amendment to the Constitution, but you need a constitutional convention to do that, or just a new rule for the Congress. And I think he should do that to burn those fuckers down, because you know damn well none of those fuckers, Democrat, Republican, or otherwise, will vote yes on that.
Mm-hmm.
What better way? And then he should go on, after he's out, go on his fucking media tour and say, I propose that to show that no one really cares about Americans. What better way to prove you care about Americans than putting a one issue, one bill rule into effect? And then, boom, he wins.
Plausibly.
Because they can't counter that.
I
They
want to
can't
say
counter it because if he does it if he puts through the one issue, one bill thing with no amendments, then they can't say, well, it had other stuff in it.
Yeah.
Because there is no other stuff. and it will reveal them for what they are. There's no way they can argue against it without looking bad. Well, if we did it that way, it would take us too long. Oh, so you're lazy. I see. Well, if we did it that way, we couldn't poison pill. Oh, okay. So you don't want a pro-Americans thing to pass, or you don't want it to go up for a vote unless you can poison pill it. Okay, I see. Thomas Massey should do that if he's sincere. I think he should do that.
Yeah, but I think he's been hitting that whole like it's the Jews thing recently.
Well, the AIPAC did throw in tens of millions of dollars into that campaign,
Mhm.
and you know when people say it's the Jews, a lot of other people assume that they're talking about Israel and the impact Israel has on American politics.
Mhm.
But AIPAC is not an Israeli-based political action committee. It's based in America. Americans with Israeli interests.
Mhm.
It's still an Israel first political action committee.
Yeah.
It's there for Israeli interest, even though it's not an Israeli political action committee. Which is, that's a distinction without a difference, essentially. And honestly, it amuses me. The Jews get entirely too much attention, to be honest. They do. They get entirely too much attention. For one, look, give Jews attention and you'll piss off the Jews. But you want to really piss off the Jews? Give them no attention.
Yeah.
Watch how pissed off they get then. Now, I'm not saying that all Jews insist upon themselves.
Some do.
I'm saying that in broad terms, that's what's going to happen. It's not a commentary on every Jewish person. It's a commentary on Jewish groups that have political aspirations. But really, that the same could be said of any group with political aspirations. Or to put it back into terms that I've used elsewhere, it's not the people of a subgroup who are the issue. It's the activists that pretend to represent the interests of those people in that subgroup that are the issue. It's the same basic idea. Chase Hughes and his series on how to spot a psyop. I haven't seen that. Mr. Scott?
I just go with 90% of it that it's all fake and gay until proven otherwise.
Generally, yes.
I don't know who Chase is.
Who do you think is funding or pushing Nick Fuentes in the algorithm? I don't know. I don't care, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, I care in as much as there is obviously some entity that wants to make him a thing. The same way there's some entity that wants to make Chelsea Clinton a thing.
Yeah.
In fact, aren't we I bet we're about 3-4 weeks away from Chelsea Clinton randomly making the news again for no reason.
Okay. I know the whole sins of the parents should not be visited on their children, but I don't want no political. Let the Clintons stop being political.
The Clintons should just fade into obscurity.
Yes.
Yes. All of the yes.
I mean, we had the
Really,
whole
I
thing
don't
with
think
Bush,
Bill or
with
Hillary
Bush
give two shits about
Senior
Chelsea
and Bush
anyway.
Jr. and that whole thing. And since then, even Jeb has faded into obscurity.
Yep.
Which is what they should do.
Well, I bet they faded into obscurity to to minimize interest in their crimes.
Yep.
And I bet there are crimes. The
Oh, yeah.
Clintons don't seem to be learning this lesson. I bet you anything that Bill and Hillary don't give two shits about Chelsea. And vice versa.
I still say I want everybody's all gung ho on the Epstein files. I still want an admission by the Clintons that they were involved with the Boys on the Tracks.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
That's the Arkansas where they found out they were running drugs through there because it had basically the easiest thing, and two boys end up being found dead after getting hit by a train. But from everything they've seen, there was no way the train killed them. And they were like, oh, they were hot because like when the train hit them, well, to be graphic about it, they did not their blood did not basically aerosolize because it wasn't pumping. And the guest person, the doctor they brought in was like, oh, it's because they were high on marijuana cigarettes. Bro, they would have had to smoke so much marijuana, but they still would have heard the fucking train. Like, to be the asshole in that whole thing, they're not Indian.
What did you said the Boys on the Tracks, Angela?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
And I thought that might have been code word or code speak for the guys Bill hired to fuck Hillary so he wouldn't have to.
No, this is quite literally a case that happened. This is the one to where they brought in a special medical examiner, and because one of the witnesses had died, and when they found him, his head was missing, and the dude said, oh, his dog must have ate it. And then when it was later found in a dumpster in full, he was like, oh, the dog must have threw it up. Like, Wendigoon did a pretty good video on that one as well.
Yeah, see, this is what I mean. That the Clintons were smart. They just let themselves fade into obscurity. But no, their egos are getting in the way and making them do stupid things like trying to promote Chelsea. It's poor planning and it's bad marketing and it's suicidal if you've committed a crime.
And I do want to clarify, it's me wanting those files out does not mean that I do not want the Epstein files out. I want all of that information released.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they keep saying that it's a national security issue, or whatever the case is. That's one of their standard fallback positions, is that it's a national security issue. Well, what kind of national security issue is served by protecting criminals?
Yeah.
Seriously, give me a good example of one. And if that example,
we can't get rid of that one. That's I like the joke towards like, no, we can't get rid of that. That's a load-bearing pedophile ring.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, that load needs to fall.
Yep. I don't care whether they're left or right. They need to fucking be brought out and burned
exactly.
For it.
I figure after the fourth or fifth investigation / arrest / prosecution / conviction, I bet we'd see a lot of high profile suicides to pop up. And hey, you know what? If those assholes take themselves out, I'm just as happy.
Yep.
But what I'm not happy with, I don't like appeal to emotion sentencing ideas. Like all the stuff about wood chippers for pedos and all that stuff. Like, okay, yeah, maybe But before we do that, let's convict them, make sure we got everything right with that conviction, and let's make part of their sentence be a whole battery of um, unobtrusive tests,
Yeah.
unobtrusive psychological evaluations, which means we don't inject them with anything.
The main
Uh,
time, or I
oh,
shouldn't say the main time, of the main times that it's like I am actually pro, completely just ending their existence is if they're caught in the act. If they're
well, yeah,
caught in
but
the act of doing that, end them.
I'm sorry, if they're caught in the act, there are certain emotional reactions on the part of the person who caught them that might be inevitable.
Yes.
That I understand. I'm saying if we have a situation where we can throw due process into the mix and satisfy it, then we should be using them for um, non-invasive brain scans and psychological uh, information gathering. See what the triggers are. See what the patterns are in different offenders. We should be doing that stuff because it'll help us to, in the long term. And we won't get solid info overnight, but in the long term, we would have a basis from which to hopefully prevent future uh, criminal activity and save a lot of kids from that kind of what do you call it?
Trauma.
From having to endure that kind of baggage. But no, everyone wants their pound of flesh. Oh, he's found guilty. Kill him right there on the spot in the courtroom on TV in front of everybody with advertising. It's like, no, that's a waste of material. And it's just going to ensure that someone else gets to that stage before we can stop them. I would love to be able to have enough solid information to stop these people before they commit the act. Apparently, a bunch of other people just want vengeance, which is fine. I understand the vengeance. We can still feed them into the wood chipper after we've done all the tests and got all the info we can from them. After we've collected all the data, they can still be, publicly castrated with a helicopter.
Mm.
Because there is no, well, I don't, we keep saying there's no rehabilitation for them, but our prison system isn't designed to rehabilitate either. It's not even designed to punish, really. It's just designed to keep people out of society. We need to examine that shit too. I mean, that's if anyone wants a solution to the problem.
Yeah, I can get behind that.
I want to solve the problem. I don't want to just have a reason to enact vengeance over and over and over and over and over. I would much rather solve the problem. Sorry if that offends anybody out there.
I don't think it'd be a problem with our audience.
Nor do I, honestly. But there are people out there who just view it as, oh, no, we got to feed them. Well, we don't have to feed them well. We don't have to clothe them in fancy garb. You got to pay someone to guard them. They were there anyway.
Yeah.
It's not like the guards get paid on a per prisoner basis. The prisons do. But that's a problem with how the system is funded, and that's also a question of the fraud that takes place in that funding. If we did due process right, wouldn't have the same level of fraud.
That is true. But I think on that note, we're going to end it because it's been about 2 hours and 6 minutes.
Yeah, good call.
Mhm.
Didn't have a whole lot of downtime. Talked about some movies, talked about some current events. Yeah, talked about some stuff YouTube probably doesn't like us to talk about, but I'm a small enough channel that they don't really care about me. Which is
For the
funny
moment.
because just recently my my gun channel surpassed my standard channel by 1 subscriber.
Right on.
Oh shit, I gotta remember to pay my rent when I get done here with this.
Yes. Very important.
Yep, because it is Jurassic June, otherwise known as, Constitution June. The month of the Constitution
me.
and the Bill of Rights.
Yes. Or as I've got it, anti-tyranny month.
Yes.
Of course, July is going to be anti-tyranny month too. And
Yes.
so is August. I'm going to have a slightly different design for every month of the year.
I am all for anti-tyranny year.
I'm just tired of people making this shit up. Well, I'm going to make up shit too if they get to. Fuck 'em.
But we're going to get out of here, folks. So have yourself a wonderful week. Go out there if it's something you're into and check out some of the movies that are going on. I've heard good things about Obsession. I thought, well, The Backrooms was good, but it is not for everyone. So have a good day and have a good week. Laters.
Bye.
Shake it naked.
Hey, thanks for tuning in. Join us again next week, or you can check out the other people in the panel in the description and see us again plausibly on one of their channels, or just check out what work they've done. Have a good week, everyone.